The rise of Africa's digital economy is improving millions of lives and rapidly transforming societies. Africa has a unique opportunity to become more sustainable and create economic growth through digitalization. The market size of Africa's digital economy is massive, and if projections go as planned, should reach a peak of $712 billion by 2050. According to a 2022 report from Endeavor Nigeria, much of the growth so far has been concentrated in four key markets: Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and Egypt. These markets make up 32% of Africa's population, 51% of the continent's mobile network connections, 50% of its professional developers, and 51% of its GDP. Well, for further analysis, I am joined by Ayotunde Alabi. He joins us virtually. Hello, good to have you join us today.
Hello, thank you very much for having me, Perpetua.
All right, well, we're looking at this projection, really. What are your thoughts?
Well, again, thank you very much for having me. Again, just as the information has alluded to the fact that the majority of the majority of the innovations clustered around four countries, which is South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, and Egypt. One thing that was also very key in the analysis was that also
Please go ahead if you can hear me.
Just confirm if you can hear.
Yes, I can. Do go ahead, please.
Okay, all right. So the professional capabilities around the personnel that are championing the tech, the innovations and the tech capabilities are also clustered around the four countries that you've mentioned as well. So it's just again, it is the spread of the capabilities. It is the spread of the technical know-how that is informing how the innovations are currently spread across the different four areas. Nigeria has we have a hub of software developers, of mobile developers, you understand. So that's quite so it is the availability, or it is the location of the capabilities, the technical know-how that would inform the development of this product that we've seen across the different countries that you've mentioned as well. So it's more of where the know-how, or where the capabilities are. That is how we are seeing the spread. And going forward, as more countries begin to expand in the terms of their capacity, or expand the development of this skill, that the tech skill that we now know, then we'll start to also see a wider spread across the different regions in Africa.
All right. Well, let's pay attention to Nigeria now. Looking at Nigeria, it would also seem that these developments are also concentrated in some places. You have places like Lagos, especially taking the lion's share, and you also have some other places really in Nigeria that are also taking the lion's share. What can be done to ensure that, let me ask this, is it necessary to ensure that this permeates through, if not all the states, but a good number of the states in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think starting from what we just left off, I think that it is important for all the states to for this skill to permeate across all the states. Basically, I mentioned this before. The reason is because each state has a peculiar problem that they are facing, which the tech skill can sort of solve for them. Basically, it is.
All right, I guess that's a connection issue. Well, in the meantime, while we're trying to get the audio back, he's talking about how that states are different in what they are offering and what they can offer. And for him, since we're talking about technology and digitalization here, it's all about looking at the environment and keying into the needs of the environment. The needs of the environment will then, dictate to these individuals what to do. If you can hear me, do go ahead, please.
All right, so I was saying that it is very important for the skill to permeate across the different states in Nigeria, maybe not all the states at once, but again, we could start from the geopolitical zones and then move across the different states, because again, every zone, every state has a peculiar problem that tech can solve for them. And it is very important that it will be more effective for a cluster of tech innovators that are situated in a particular location to actually solve the problems in that location, because they have experienced their homegrown first, number one, and they've also experienced firsthand how the problems have affected or impacted their lives, and so they can solve with all the experience of the problems that they have. They can solve it. It's easier for people in a particular location to solve their problems as opposed to people coming from elsewhere to solve the problem, because they understand the peculiarities of the location or the locality that the problem that they're trying to solve. So I believe that if we can start with if we can have tech hubs in all the states for now in Nigeria, we could ascribe them per geopolitical zones, and then that zone or that location that hub can now be the tech hub that would serve the particular geopolitical zone, and then we can now, as it begins to expand, then that can be permeated into the other states.
All right, but let's look at this. Are there domestic challenges inherent in some of these locations? Because it would seem that some persons would rather move out of these other locations to the happening locations. Is it a matter of certain domestic challenges, or is it just about, okay, we do not have these hubs here, and maybe the support, the technical know-how, we don't have them resident here, so I need to migrate to the other places where these things are probably more accessible?
All right. Thank you. So again, so yes, to your question, there could be some domestic challenges. For example, the issue of infrastructure. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do without the internet if you're a tech innovator, right? So there's that, right? And so there has to be infrastructure. There also have to be electricity. These are the two basic things that you need for you to innovate as a tech entrepreneur or as a tech innovator, right? So in terms of infrastructure, so in the remotest areas in Nigeria, for example, they still have these issues. So a tech person would need access to those. For example, not the internet is not, the connectivity of internet is not as strong in some areas, in some local rural areas when you compare that to Lagos, right? And then also electricity is also very key. So if you do not have those two, if you don't have access to power and also very strong connectivity for the internet, you might have problems. And that's why you see that most people would prefer to migrate to the likes of Lagos, or to some other areas, urban areas, where they can have access to those two things. But beyond that as well, for a tech, for you to develop a tech skill, you also need to rely on people that are more experienced or that are experienced in some other aspect of tech, because no one person can understand the full scope. Can understand 100% the full scope of what it takes to build a product, right? So you need someone, for example, you're a backend software developer, you need someone on the front end, you need someone on the, you need someone to design your products for you, basically. So access, so that is why a hub is very, very important, because in the hub, you have different people that have different skills that would require to develop a product.
All right.
So that is. Yeah, so that's why people would gravitate towards a place where you can have access to other people with complementary skills to be able to develop the product that you have in mind, basically.
Well, when we look at tech innovation, it has a lot of arms. We have the fintech, we have edutech, we have health tech.
Can you hear me?
A lot. Can you hear me? What did you say?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I was saying, when we look at tech innovation, we have fintech, we have health tech, we also have edutech, a lot of these techs, But then it would seem that more concentration, or there is a lot of concentration on fintech in Nigeria. Why is that so?
Well, because thank you very much for the question. I think because it is the framework tech, the financial sector is the most innovative aligned, or innovation aligned, or tech aligned sector in Nigeria as we know it at the moment, and this is why a lot of credit has to go to the banks.